Welcome to Small Business, Big Network, the podcast for small business owners who want big results from their networking. I'm Liz Drury, a freelance voiceover artist who knows that if you're not working, then networking could help. Melanie Perry is the owner of Poppy Perry Media and also one of the founders of the Creatives Network. She has a great networking story to share that shows that often it's worth going to a networking event even if you don't really feel like it. Thank you very much for joining me on the podcast, Melanie.
You're very welcome. It's lovely to be here. Thank you for asking me.
Now, you're a filmmaker, a broadcaster, a networker, but where did it all start? What did you want to be when you were at school?
Oh my goodness me, what a question. I don't think I really ever knew what I wanted to be when I was at school, and things have kind of morphed and developed over time, like I guess most people do. I didn't have a set idea. I mean, when I was much younger, I wanted to be a vet.
Right.
But then my lack of love of maths and things, I thought, yeah, it's not going to happen. I've always had a passion for animals, so I toyed with the idea of being a zookeeper at one point. And then, things happened. My father, unfortunately, died right at the beginning of my GCSEs very suddenly. No. And the school, unfortunately, wasn't very accommodating about that. So basically, my life was a bit of a mess for a little while. And my mum just said, right, okay, you can go to secretarial college, and I sort of ended up at finishing school where I learned shorthand and typing, Lucy Clayton in London.
Oh, yes.
And then I kind of went into office work off the back of that, really, because my mum's logic was, if you know how to type, you'll never starve. You could always temp and you could always do something. So I thought, okay, well, I'll do that. And it was never going to be a career, but I ended up being a PA and then onto an executive assistant for many years. But I knew that it wasn't where my heart was at, let's put it that way. And I knew that I always had a very creative soul and that I wanted to do something creatively. I was lucky enough to take voluntary redundancy when I just found out I was pregnant with my first son, which worked out very nicely. So I got a nice little bit of money to put aside, which was nice. And then I was able to really reflect on where it is I was going and what I wanted to be doing. And like most new mums, I got hoiked into some network marketing model, which I still do on the side because the products are lovely. But again, I'm not a seller. I don't want to, sell stuff to people. It's not really what I do. So I thought, well, the products are nice, so I'll keep using them myself. And if anybody wants to investigate, they can talk to me, but I'm not going to go and sell. I don't do selling. And it was only really in the last few years that, say a few years, it's probably about 5 years now, that I made, was when I was doing my network marketing business, and I made a series of videos for a friend of mine, a fellow business lady who I met networking, and who was launching her own business, sugaring, like sugar. I would say wax. It's not waxing. It's like waxing hair removal, but it's sugaring.
Oh yes,
more natural. You know what I mean. And she asked me if I would help her, and I said, yeah, no, let's do some videos for you because that's where the thing seems to be at these days, and let's do it a bit differently. We'll create you a nice set of videos about what it is you do and where you're based and everything. So I created a set of 4 videos for her, who she was, about the salon, about the sugaring, and then a testimonial one for her where we sort of ran it as a series. And that just went so well. And then before I knew it, everybody in my networking group would say, oh, can you do me a video? Can you do me a video? Could you? And it kind of grew. I literally haven't looked back, and my video business was born, although it was something that I never intended at all. Yeah. But it really gave rein to my creative side, and I found out that I was quite good at it, and it just went from there, really.
Wow. So tell me about your current business now, Poppy Perry Media, what you do and who you help.
Yeah. So, as I say, the video business just grew. So I help small and medium-sized business owners create video content for their businesses, and I also help companies with strategy as well, and help them work out where video marketing sits within their overall marketing plan. I like somebody else to provide the marketing plan. I can do that, but I like somebody else to do that.
Yeah.
And I come along and do the pretty bit, and, put the video structure in there and to make sure that they get the maximum return on investment for a video plan. Because if you don't plan your video marketing, you can spend a lot of money and not have a lot to show for it. Just because you're putting videos out there doesn't mean that they're going to be successful. You need to have a plan, and you need to have a very clear strategy, and it needs to sit within your marketing plan so it's all consistent. So everything needs to be working together and coherently for a great marketing plan to be very, very effective.
And do you work with sort of particular industries, or is it across the board?
Across the board. I like helping all sorts of individuals, and I've been lucky enough to work with a range of individuals and companies as well, and I've learnt so much new stuff. I love talking to new people, so yeah, I wouldn't say that I have a niche. I'm just very passionate about helping companies get their stories across in the best possible way.
And what kind of impact has your work had for those companies that you've worked for?
It's had a huge impact. I mean, people have gone from saying, people didn't really know what we are and what we do, and now we're getting inquiries all the time, and they know, they get it. They, I'm connected with the right people, and I said, well, that's what you need. You need to be talking to the right people. So, with the strategy and helping to create a well storyboarded video, you need to make sure, as with everything, you're talking to the right people at the right time. Because I get so many people go out on LinkedIn or wherever, they say, but people don't actually really know what we do, and should I be on this platform or should I be on that platform? And it's knowing where you sit and where your videos are going to have the best impact. Should you be putting it on Facebook? Should you be putting it on LinkedIn? Should you be doing all of it? Answer to that is no. But do the one or two things really, really well, and make sure that you're in the place where your audience is.
Yeah. Now, networking is obviously important to you. You started out running a network marketing business. Why does networking work for you?
For me, it's all about the personal human connection, and that's what we see in our marketing, as we've just been saying. The more people that can connect to you on some level, the more successful you will be. And building relationships is so, so important for business. People do business with those that they know, like, and trust, and you need to have your values aligned. If two sets of people come together and your values are aligned, you're going to do great business together. And some of the most amazing things can happen through networking. I mean, I'll tell a little story, if I may. For example, I was at a networking event. This was years ago, and it was one of those networking events. I thought, oh, don't really know if I want to go to this. And I hummed and I hawed, and I thought, oh, sod it, I'll go along. So I went along, and a lady was making coffee, and it was about her coffee business. And I'm not really a coffee drinker, which is probably why I was humming and hawing about it. But she made me the most beautiful cup of coffee, and I was like, I'm never drinking coffee again unless you make it for me, because it was just absolutely amazing. Didn't think much else of it. And then a few years later, I was at a different networking event that I had literally the evening before I was due to be in hospital the next day to have a hip replacement. And again, so I was a bit humming and hawing, oh, do I really want to go to this, because I've got to be up so early to get to the hospital the next morning? But I thought, but I really like this event, so I'm going to go. And it was a lady who, the presenter was a lady who was a vet in Uganda, and she works with silverback gorillas, and she saves gorillas, and she's just the most amazing lady. And to help fund the conservation work that her and her team are doing, they have brought over coffee beans, Ugandan premium coffee beans. And I was talking to her afterwards, and her husband, and they said, oh, we'd really love to bring like gorilla coffee to the UK. And I just thought, I know a coffee lady. I know a coffee lady. So I said, look, let me have the details and I'll get back to you. So when I was the next morning at about 5:30 in the morning, sitting in this waiting room trying to, get myself organised, I was pinging Vicky Weddle a message saying, I've met this lady, you know her coffee, she's got these premium roast Ugandan coffee, and it's the conservation product, and it will save gorilla, and it sounds really cool. Can I put you in touch? And of course, then the answer was, oh yes, that sounds really good. So and I got them, and I'd hoiked a bag of premium roast coffee bean that I had in my hospital bag. And it was about, I don't know, a month later that I managed to give her the said beans. And she tasted them and she said, oh, this coffee is really good. Anyway, I managed to hook them up, and now she is a full distributor of Ugandan guerrilla conservation coffee beans for the UK. And she distributes them, and it's turned out to be a lovely, wonderful success story. And that just goes to show the power of networking. It doesn't always happen straight away. I mean, I met these two ladies years apart, but the fantastic thing that came of it, and at both of those events were two events that I very nearly said, oh, I'm not going to go to that. But I did, and it just shows you the power of, you never know who you're going to meet or when that connection is going to pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a fantastic story that just shows, like, as you say, that the power of networking.
Yeah.
So I know that you now run your own network. Why did you decide to set that up, and tell me something about it?
Yeah, well, I run my own networking group for creative professionals called Creatives, and that was born really. I made a film in lockdown with a TV producer friend of mine, Julie Hyde-Mew, and that was born out of the urge to get out of the house. When we realised we could actually go out and do film production again, it was like, yay, let's get out, we can make a film. So got a team of people together and said, right, I want to make this film, and it's got to be a comedy because I want to have a laugh. I don't want any more serious doom and gloom. I need to have a laugh. I really need to have a laugh, and I need to get out of the house. Otherwise something terrible's going to happen to my husband and child. So we put a crew together, and when we were looking for various people to fulfil various roles on this project, we noticed, Julie and myself, that there were lots of different specialist groups around. There were groups for authors, groups for artists, groups for film producers, groups for directors, groups for photographers, blah, blah, blah. I thought, do you know what, it'd be so nice if we had all these people in one place so that we could actually talk to the people we need to and find great people for any project that we wanted to. Wouldn't it be just nice? And then that kind of morphed into well, why don't we put something together? Because we'd never seen anybody all under one roof. So why don't we put this together where people from all over the world, doesn't matter where you are, we'll build a directory of top people in the industry that are trusted people that you can go to if you need a thing, no matter where you are. So that idea was born, and it was born in May of 2022. So we're fairly new, but it's been growing very nicely, and our connections, our members, have been doing tremendous business with each other. It's fabulous.
So tell me about the format of the meetings. How does it work?
So we like people to connect with each other first and foremost. So we'll obviously have around the room introductions, but we split out into breakout rooms, and that's where most of the time is spent, so that people can have chats with each other, and then they'll be mixed up and chat with other people, and then obviously we'll have back in the room, and we'll do calls to action so that everybody knows what they should be doing and when and how they can help people. But we're predominantly focused on having those more intimate, in-depth conversations so that our members really get to know each other and how they can help each other.
Yeah. And what else do you do for your members apart from the meetings?
Oh, we do lots. We're very, unlike most networking groups, we are very, very passionate about keeping our members visible. So aside from the 2 monthly meetings that you get over the month, we have informal networking meetings. We put our members in the spotlight in our weekly newsletter. So we'll do an article on you, showcase and highlight your business. We invite our members to be interviewed on our live stream on the couch so that they can be streamed across all networks, so again keeping you quite visible. We ask our members or our guests when they come on the couch for their top tips, their industry top tips, which we then cut up and put out as top tips of the day, again across all social media platforms over a period of time. So again, positioning our members as the expert in their field and keeping them current. We also scan social media for what our members are putting out and make sure that we share it out into our other specialist groups that we might be members of, and reshare things on LinkedIn as well. So we're very, very passionate about keeping our members visible, because for some of our members it can be quite hard. People don't like shouting themselves from the rooftops on social media. So we make sure that we pick up as much as we can and just make sure that we're sharing it out to the relevant places. Again, we're not going to just share it far and wide. We're quite selective, but if we've got an author who's got a particular book coming out, we'll make sure that we put them in the authors groups that we are a part of, and make sure that we're recommending referral. We give our members priority referrals within the group, so that we ask our members, if somebody and somebody can do that thing within the group, then they're the person that you go to first.
Yeah.
And then share out. So we're very, very active on keeping our members in the spotlight, and positioning them as the experts that they are, and making sure that the world knows how wonderful they are.
Yeah. So what kind of industries do you have represented in the group at the moment?
We've got quite a few voiceover artists. We've got quite a few authors. We've got some graphic designers, web designers. We've got a creative coach, which is really lovely to have some of the support people in for the creative services. We've got a LinkedIn trainer who specialises in supporting people into the creative industries. We have got a video producer, a filmmaker. We've got a quite nice range of people.
Are there any industries that aren't represented at the moment that you would like to get into the group?
Yeah, we have got slots available. We'd like to see some more sculptors. I'd like to have some more poets. I'd like to have some more people, supporters of the creative industries as well. So if you're hearing this and you're a VA or an accountant or anybody or an agent, I'd like to get some agents, literary agents or casting agents. If you're in those industries that support the creative industries, I would love to hear from you as well.
Brilliant. Have you got any tips for networking, since you've been such a great networker yourself?
Yeah, it's like anything else. You need to have a strategy with your networking. We can all have lots and lots of conversations, and it's lovely. But if you're having the conversations with the wrong people, it's not going to help you. So if you're going to a networking event, have a specific goal in mind. Who do you want to meet? Who do you want to get in front of? Who are the people that can help you with a particular goal that you might have? So it's being strategic about it, focusing on if your business is in a particular area, making sure that you network in those particular areas, so regionally or with people that can help you, as I say, on a specific thing. So you need to be fairly strategic about it and have a goal before you go into these meetings. And if you're able to get look at a list of people that are going to be in the room beforehand, then great. But if not, then just try and quickly get to the people that are going to be the ones that you're going to want to follow through with, rather than just trying to keep in touch with everybody all the time, because it's not sustainable and people fall away. So make sure that you're making the right connections and the right relationships.
Yeah. And so what collaborations or partnerships that you know about have come about through your network?
Yeah, we've got two really lovely ones that we were talking about a bit earlier, actually, the workshop that I've just been at. The first one, again, it was that's why I love networking, because you never know what's going to come of it. And sometimes it could be really random. But we have an author in our group who is looking to turn her book into an animated film, which Priscilla Presley wants to produce. So she's very close friends with Priscilla Presley, and I can see that happening because it's such a lovely story. Yeah. And she's got some merchandise. She's got like the little animals that are in the film that are just beautiful. And we've also got a member who runs a merchandising fan site called Fanboxed. Kate Smith, she's absolutely amazing. Sorry if I'm not supposed to advertise, but she's amazing. Kate Smith Fanboxed, if you're a fan of anything, she'll get you anything that you want. She's amazing. And I put those two together because I thought, there's certainly some merchandising opportunities here for Kate. Anyway, they got talking, and they've started a wonderful strategic alliance in the most bizarre way. They're taking the book and they're creating it into a play to be run in schools, both in the UK and in Australia. And we're like, wow, and I never saw that coming. Amazing. I never saw that coming. But yeah, it's like, that's fantastic. And one of our members who designs websites put an offer in to our members only group before Christmas that I think he had quite a bit of uptake on, to build a website for an absolutely ridiculously low amount of money. And a couple of our members are just absolutely thrilled to pieces with their new wonderful websites that Ollie's has made from Marketic. So there's lots going on in there, and that's another thing that obviously we encourage our members to do. You know, if you've got member promotions that you want to give in our group, that's absolutely fine and dandy, and we encourage that, so that, you know, if you're building a business or building a new business, you come in as a fairly new or small business and you're looking to grow, put an offer out into our group, and then, you know, you've got the social proof then that you can go out and market with, which can be quite hard when you're starting out. And we also have lots of connections with professionals who will put on workshops and seminars. You know, our members will tell us what they want, we'll go and arrange it, and then we can get our members access to those things for a discounted or free price.
Fantastic. Sounds like you've got lots of opportunities there for people in the creative industry. If anyone listening would like to join, or certainly find out more about it, what's the best placement to find you, Melanie?
Yep, they can find us on Facebook. We have a creatives page, and it's CR3 8 IVES, and there is a reason for that, and you'll find it in the blurb when you look at it. So we've got a public Facebook page, we've got a public LinkedIn page if you're on LinkedIn, because we do most of our business on LinkedIn, so that's where we like to drive people to. Or they can email me, Melanie, MELANIE, at creativecr38ives.com.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much for being my guest, and the best of luck with the Creative Network.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to Small Business, Big Network. If you found this podcast useful, please do rate, review and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with the rest of your network too.